be real here?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unpopular View.
Thank you all for clicking on our faces.
New flag with all that.
Okay, so I wrote down some notes.
Let's do that.
I don't want to sit through hard garbage.
That's twice. That'll probably go over about as well as Colonel Dippy.
Because there was no Jay White site.
Just straight up gangbanging.
This story has been fit.
You gotta pay attention.
So Unpopular Review does not. What is she the CEO of, Chris? Jesus, golly. Let's start the show.
Hey, it's Mariah May. You may know me as The Glamour, and you're watching Unpopular Review.
Really?
What is going on, guys? It is
Really?
another Wednesday night, and you know what that means. We are coming at you live, UPR here, and we have, oh boy, here we go. Oh, geez. We're coming at you. The AEW review show.
Just give me a minute. Come on, guys. Gotta get an ice cream bar.
Oh man, we know exactly where this show is going.
Let's go right in the shitter.
Just like every other week. Every other week. They say we want to get in, we say we want to get out, and it goes right in the freaking.
Guys, I want to know who's watching Who's In this weekend.
Who's
Anybody
in?
watching Who's In?
Is that like who's that? Is that like whose house?
Whose house? Who's in? Whose house? Oh God, what a great Dynamite. Tonight. From top to bottom, fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
7 ice cream bars across the damn fucking platform there. Let's get this show started.
So is that how we measure everything? Is by ice cream bars? Is that how we're gonna do this?
Listen,
are we allowed to have ice cream bars right now?
It might be. I don't know. It's a little late.
It is a little late. It is a little late, and I'm a little concerned at your sugar consumption at this point in time.
You should. I think I had too many cookies today, anyways.
You are an ice cream sandwich away from being a diabetic.
Wow, Chris, that's very concerning. There, he said.
It's. It is.
Let's look at these comments coming in, guys. Ice cream bars across the freaking screen.
There's so many ice cream bars.
About the ice cream bars, Mom, more ice cream. What is it, Jeff?
Are you at least getting some meatloaf in?
Hey, Charmaine, meatloaf. What's going on, girl?
I think someone was hitting the sauce tonight.
Couple sauces, couple little, going into.
Whoa! Lord have mercy.
All right, let's get going. Let's start the show.
All right, guys. So we're on the road to AEW All Out. I still don't really comprehend the fact that we are only 2 weeks away from the last show. You have zero time to truly build the pay-per-view. But
why do you think they're doing it so quick?
Well, AEW has done this thing with tradition, yet they decided to introduce All In again, and there really was no tradition for AEW in that. They did this last year, decided to make this grand show, and said, hey, let's do it again. When All Out has pretty much always been Labor Day weekend, and now they want to continue that, but everyone has basically told them this is the stupidest idea to have a pay-per-view back-to-back. You can't build one show and just leave another one kind of to sit there to dry out. And how do you build 2 shows simultaneously? It's just ridiculous. It doesn't work. I said this last year, how stupid it was. I don't mean to be so harsh and critical in the product at this point, but I just think it's such a dumb concept to hold pay-per-views back to back. And it's so confusing for fans because it's how do you keep track of what's happening when and where, who's going to wrestle on this show or that show. And you're just kind of left in an awkward predicament. But this is what they did. And I'll tell you what, last year, despite the fact that I was so pessimistic about it, it was still pretty great all out. So I still think we're going to see the same this year. And I'm actually really looking forward to this year's card. Vinny's in a good mood. Anything could happen. There is still, the night is young.
You know a few of them that are dry out watching AEW. Me too.
Oh, Steve, who dries out? Can you tell me?
It's like a dried out piece of beef. You ain't slicing that tonight.
So beef jerky?
You ain't slicing that one.
Vince knows a lot about jerky.
Guys, who's ready for the NFL kickoff tomorrow night? We got the Jags and we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Fly, Eagles, fly. Green Bay and Eagles play on Friday night. I mean, let's get this season going.
In Brazil. What
a shitty way to start the season in Brazil. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Because they don't. Because it's America.
It's America. It's America, so they don't deserve it.
Because, all right. Let's be honest. Let's. I mean, listen.
Big ratings, Danny Garcia.
I don't want to take this the wrong way, but what do they do for us?
I'm sorry. What does who do?
What does Brazil do for us? Why do they deserve a game? Why? Because they bring their stinky soccer players over here? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what is the point of us going to Brazil?
What do you mean? What's the point of us going to Brazil?
I mean, it's all about. It's not about what we think. It's about this. That's all it's about. Who cares? You know, these. It's just ridiculous. We're going there for what? Stinky popcorn and stale soda. Let's move it along.
Wait, you want to move it along? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I just
stinky popcorn and a soda.
I know. I said.
How do you have stinky popcorn? Can you explain what makes popcorn stinky?
Well, when it gets stale, it gets stinky, and then what I say? I don't even know.
Stinky. Stinky popcorn.
I don't even know what I said.
Yeah, you're just talking just to talk.
I just think it's a waste of time to go to Brazil. You want all these guys to jump on a plane and go to Brazil for what reason? There's no reason. None. Not a damn.
Yes, there's plenty of reason. There's one sole specific reason.
Yeah, right here.
That's it.
Yeah, and none of them. And I'm not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there. Nope. I'm not even gonna go there. All right, come on. Let's go.
Are you sure?
Starting.
You sure you don't want to talk about stinky popcorn?
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Ice
You're
cream
right.
Sandwiches.
Daniel Garcia versus MGF is just as bad as watching the Green Bay Packers and the Eagles battling it out in Brazil.
I mean, could you imagine being a Green Bay Packers fan?
No, I can't. Well, ask Mad Dog. He is one.
Is he?
Mad Dog is a Green Bay Packers fan. Yes.
Wow, we really got to get some news on in here. Oh boy.
Yeah, he must think we're doing the show tomorrow night.
I mean, or he might think it's just not happening at all.
I gave him the link. He must be like, guys, you're not on.
Why?
I don't know. Let's see, Vinny.
Vince does like them hairy. I will say that.
Not that hairy.
Vince has a type. I mean, Vince, you are kind of a muff diver, aren't you?
I scuba diving. Yeah, I got my scuba diving license, so we're good.
All right. Well,
I like to snorkel a little bit.
Scuba Steve.
Yeah, but it has to be clean. It can't be there can't be like fish thrown in there and cans.
Fish.
Listen, my uncle said.
What do you mean fish?
What you know what my uncle said? My uncle said, if it smells like fish, eat as you wish. If it smells like cologne, leave it alone. That's what he told me.
I think that should be the opposite there, guy.
I don't know. If you're putting a little cologne down there, you're hiding a stinky stink.
Okay, but you know what? If it smells like fish, I think you run, buddy. I think you run. I don't think that's a definitive. You should not even consider at that point. It's a get up and walk out. You leave.
It's like a tuna tartar.
What if it's like this buttery kind of scent, and it's, I mean, would you consider that savory? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a savor flavor.
Get
it on your beard a little bit, and later on you just
jeez. All right. So let's get back to this MJF. We kick off the show with MJF and Daniel Garcia.
What a load of horse shit this is.
Why is this? Come on. What's wrong with this?
I just don't, listen, I'm not a huge fan of Danny Garcia. And you're not going to put one over on me that Danny Garcia is ever going to beat MJF. Like it's way far fetched.
Why? Really,
because he's not listen, everybody out there, you're going to probably hate me for saying this, but he is not a main event player. He is give him the European title, maybe the 24/7. Let's give him some cheap pops. That's it. Let's move it along. He's not a heavyweight champion contender. I don't see him.
But you're only saying that off of what you've seen and him kind of being this kind of gimmicky joke that does a little bit of a dance. He's super over with the crowd. But ultimately there's been a lot of talent that you've seen or I've seen, and we've been like, I don't really see it. And then all of a sudden you see a different side of them. They're putting the right storyline. They, really advance their character and their story, and they become a little more serious. And here they are, and you're like, oh, okay. They are a little bit different than I thought. Like, to me, Orange Cassidy's a prime example. When I first saw this guy, I was like, all right, he's cool, but he's a joke, and I could never take him seriously as a champion. And I could argue that he's probably been one of the best workers in the company. I mean, at least back in 2023, I mean, he was a workhorse, and you're constantly seeing this guy. He was the Continental champion or the international, whatever title that they want to call it. I get so confused over Continental and international titles.
You know who surprised me? Kyle Fletcher. I was not a huge fan of Kyle Fletcher when he came in.
Why?
And because I just didn't think he was. I mean, I think he was good. I just didn't think he was a main event player. And then he surprised me. He's totally switched that around on me. And I can definitely see Kyle Fletcher over Daniel Garcia any day. I mean, Daniel Garcia is a small rat. He needs to put some weight on.
There's a story to be told. There is a story with MJF and Daniel Garcia. There is a story with Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, which we're inevitably going to see. There's plenty of meat on the bones with a lot of these guys, and I think that's what's making this a little bit appealing. Daniel Garcia needs probably a little bit more mic work. He does not necessarily have the ability on the microphone that MJF has.
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, that is MJF's real shining moment right there, is how he can just get on the microphone and just tell a story. Why?
I don't know.
Tell me why.
This segment really, I could have went without it. I mean, see, this is what they do. They waste time. They bring him out there. He talks about his mom, his dad, his family, which should never be brought on TV. Like, this is just adding oil to the fire. And then all of a sudden, here's the funny part. You're expecting me to believe this guy's going to toss around a bunch of security guards like they're rag dolls. This guy doesn't even weigh 115 wet. And he's He's tossing a guy that's 220 pounds as a bodybuilder come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And then he's gonna jump the railing, go up, and then all of a sudden he's gonna get smacked in the face with a. That's it. Like that's all you got. That's all you got. I don't know.
That's all you got.
It just and then it just wasn't a good segment. I mean,
didn't MJF he was tasting Daniel Garcia's blood?
Does this guy have an HIV shot? I mean, is this?
Oh,
what's this?
Oh, what? Oh, what?
Oh my God, this guy.
What is that?
It's a shot. You're licking somebody's blood. Get an HIV shot. Oh my God.
I don't think there's a such thing.
Well, I might be saying it wrong, but you some kind of shot for. You don't just go around licking everybody's blood. I mean, if he's a vampire, okay. I mean, but I mean, I don't see that sanitary. You look disgusted. I know.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, Vince literally goes and takes it from the sublime to the ridiculous in the course of 5 seconds, and
that's my job.
It really is. But are you looking forward to MJF and Daniel Garcia at All Out?
Absolutely not.
I am.
I know you are.
Be great. Of course, I am.
Just like I was so excited this weekend to watch not Bash of Berlin. That's how excited I am.
Oh boy, don't even get me going on Trash at Berlin. Don't even get me going.
That show was. Oh my God. I mean, and these marks, they want to run to their television sets at 1:00 and watch it from 1 to 4 like a bunch of geeks. Like you want me to believe that Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes is the main event?
Who's Kevin Owens? Who's Kevin Owens?
I said Kevin Owens, not Kevin Owens.
I heard you say Kevin Owens.
I said Kevin Owens.
Okay.
And it wasn't even the main event. It was the first opening match.
Because they're in Germany.
What's that supposed to mean?
Gunther is from Austria. I mean, it's close.
I would at least do the second match. No, am I wrong?
No, if world title match, it either opens or it ends. You don't just throw yourself into the second show. The second match of the night. What do you want? Crack?
Can I real quick, Chris? Can I ask you a question?
Oh no!
Can you just real quick answer this question for me? What would you grade Bash of Berlin? What would you say? What was your Bash of Berlin?
Remove that banner real quick because I ain't going to get up with so much. Yeah.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Bash of Berlin was a very, very good show.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh boy.
You know what's the best part about it? People actually watch it, unlike All In.
That's a lie. That's a lie. All in was a sold out. No, I'm not. Oh, no, hold on. Let me take that back. It was not a sold out show, but All In was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't say All In was sold out. All In was not sold out, but it's still kudos to them that they were able to sell for over 40,000 tickets. That's impressive, right? I'm glad to see it, and I think All In actually was a very good show. But Bash of Berlin was a good record. Show.
Did it beat the SummerSlam record?
Hell no. Let's not go that far. But it was still a very good show, and I think they put on very good pay-per-views. That's never their problem. They're always going to put on a good pay-per-view. What was the first pay-per-view? All In, or what was the first pay-per-view, Dan?
For AEW?
Yeah.
Officially, it was no, it was Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. So AEW's been putting on good pay-per-views from Double or Nothing into the last pay-per-view, Company's in December.
Company's in? Okay. All right. Well, let's move on.
Wow. That guy must think he's Vince. So funny.
All right. So we go from Daniel Garcia's lash across the face with a little MJF blood tasting to go on, my friend. Let's you don't even know where to go.
This absolutely, because I mean, come on. So we get your favorite Renee Paquette backstage interviewing the conglomeration and Will Ospreay.
That's a mess. These people, that dude is a nut.
Which
He's
one?
The only one that's trying to bite the camera and barking at it. He's a
Mark
nut.
Briscoe.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, so they are going up against the Blackpool Combat Club later tonight in the main event for the Trios Championships. Oh, wow.
Yep, that's what I said.
Yeah, that was a not eventful promo.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on. We have Okada and Kyle Fletcher for the Continental Championship.
This was not a bad match.
This was a good match.
Yeah, this is good.
Okada is majorly over.
This is probably not as good as CM Punk and Drew McIntyre from Bash at Berlin, but it's kind of close.
Oh, geez, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Well, listen, you get some of these dorks out here and these marks, and anything that guy Phil Brooks does, they're over here doing this too. Okay, literally. Like that's all they do. That's it. It's we got Phil Brooks. Oh my gosh, we got CM Punk. Oh boy, what I would do for some CM junk in the trunk.
CM junk in the trunk.
No, I mean, listen, you know what? CM Punk is who CM Punk is. CM Punk will always be who CM Punk is, and I commend him for that. But I mean, so many people out there, they'll watch it just because of the name and who he is. And I mean, let's be honest, the guy can tell a story, but he's glass at this point. He's broken glass. Ooh, did I just say that? Oh man, it's real glass. Okay. And that's what it is. The guy can barely stay healthy. I think he's only had a handful of matches in WWE at this point. He's only had a handful of matches in AEW. So it is what it is, and you know what you're getting out of him. But let's go. But listen, man, Okada, I just think he really needs to improve on his English. And I think he'll end up getting thrust into a much bigger story. Right now, he is majorly over. He's got everything going for him, and I think Okada is going to be Continental Champion.
That's a question for you down there. Steve wants to know how many shirts is Okada selling.
I don't know. I don't have those figures for you. You can go ahead and Google that just like I can. So Kyle Fletcher, this guy is obviously one of the future stars of AEW. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen when his fellow tag teammate does come back from injury and the United Empire does continue. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot. I love how they. Here's the thing. I love how they keep us going with the commercial breaks, and then you have a small screen. But let's be honest. We all know that with the small screen, there's nothing going to happen that's very impacting to that match with the small screen.
No.
So I just wish they would not give us the small screen, because it's very hard to focus on the little left hand or right hand corner when you have this commercial. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's impossible sometimes. I don't even care. But I mean, the match was good. I mean,
it was good. I liked it. Okada does retain, and he will continue on as your Continental Champion.
Okada.
This guy Steve, man, he thinks he's Eddie Murphy. I mean, seriously, I mean, I've never seen someone who thinks they're so damn funny. Oh wait, I'm actually doing a show with him right now.
Oh.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the next match of the night. We have the newly returned Jamie Hayter against Robin Renegade. And I'll tell you this. I am shocked. And there's nothing against Robin Renegade, but I am shocked that she's on AEW. I mean,
Why?
When have you seen Robin Renegade?
I don't even know who the hell she is.
Okay, that's my point. She's done.
Well, she's probably from that city. That's why she's there.
No, you're wrong. She's actually, I believe she's signed to AEW and Ring of Honor, but I never see her on TV. She actually has a twin. So they are the Renegade sisters, and they kind of almost, I don't want to say they're a ripoff of the Bella twins, but they definitely play some twin magic, and they've done this. They used to do they were like pretty much all the AEW Dark tapings, and I believe they're on Ring of Honor right now currently. I could be wrong.
You know, Jamie Hayter reminds me of that is WWE's Becky Lynch. That is their Becky Lynch.
I mean, I could see that. I could definitely see that. She is very good. I don't know where. So hold on. So it's Robin Renegade, and who's the other one?
Ultimate Warrior from the 90s.
Charlotte Renegade? Really? I didn't know that. Robin and Charlotte. They made their debut on January 17th, 2020. That's pretty crazy. But they have been on AEW Dark for quite a bit. They made so they are on Ring of Honor. Interesting.
I gotta look these sisters up. I've never seen them.
Well, you'll absolutely love them. They're actually pretty good. They are pretty good. So, I mean, obviously, Robin Renegade is not going to get the win on Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's not losing anytime soon.
I mean, you could definitely tell they're not. I mean, you could definitely tell them apart from each other, though.
Oh no, you definitely can tell them apart. I mean,
they're supposed to be twins.
I believe.
Twins. No, absolutely not. One looks Hispanic and one looks white. Like one looks very Spanish. Like you can tell with the hoop earrings and things like that she wears, and the other one, she seems like she's like, you can just tell she's a white girl. And in some pictures,
I believe they're both like mixed, but okay.
I mean, I'm not trying. I'm just saying, like, if you go on Google and type in the Renegade Sisters, there's like 3 or 4 pictures where the one of them looks more Hispanic than the other. I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at it, and this is what I get.
Okay, yeah, well, Vince, I want you to realize something, that people can be like, you know, brothers, sisters, you know, they could be twins and not be identical.
How's that twins then? I thought twins are like, you look like.
Did you miss going to school? Did you miss anything on?
I rode the short bus.
I mean, that we could start to tell a little bit more. So yes, you can be an identical twin as well as a fraternal twin. If you literally are in the same womb at the same time as your sibling, you are twins. You don't necessarily have to look alike.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
I cannot believe you didn't know that.
No. Nope.
You seriously didn't know this?
Honestly, I didn't.
Like, for real. This is...
Steve. I don't think they're on YouPorn, Steve.
I just... this is news to me, and I saw Chris's face when when you said that. So I'm just in a state of shock right now.
All right.
But there's that. Jamie Hayter does pick up the W. She is well on her way to the next stop, and I mean, I guess where does Jamie Hayter go from here? I mean, is she thrust into the women's title picture at this point, or is she just going to?
You just came back.
Yeah. I mean,
How do you-
I guess Soraya and her still has some unfinished business.
I love about Tony Khan. He just throws people in just a title shot just to say that. Like tonight when we had Mariah May and what's her name? Fill me in here. What's oh god, we don't say her all the time either.
Nyla Rose.
We never see her, and she has she's in for a title defense. I don't understand where he gets his facts from, but how do you just throw somebody a bone and be like, hey, we're just gonna give you a title shot tonight?
Okay. Why not? Why not? Let's go with that.
I guess.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah, it's fine. So, Soraya and Harley Cameron were backstage watching. So, I would imagine that's probably where this feud's going. Steve, this guy. The only person that I know that rides WWE and Vince McMahon more than anybody is Steve. We're gonna go ahead and continue on with the show. We get a recap of Hook tapping Roderick Strong out last week. We get more Renee Paquette, and we have Christopher Daniels with her this time. And
we miss him. I know we miss him too.
Yeah, I know. So
we never talked about the elephant in the room, man. We didn't speak about somebody that's not here. Cactus Katie she's taking a little hiatus for a couple weeks. And we always wish the best for her and hope to see her back as soon as possible.
And I'm sure she'll be back within. Listen, I think we'll see her before Halloween. We'll put it that way. I'm hoping.
What's Halloween?
Halloween?
No, you said Halloween.
I did not say Halloween. I said Halloween.
You said Halloween, like it's some kind of Harry Potter thing.
Vince, I know how to speak.
Did you talk to Katie? You said she's in South Africa? You said?
Well, I mean, she's been in Afghanistan for the longest time.
Oh yeah. So she had a switch. Okay.
On her 1G coverage, that does look like it's dial up at times. So, I mean, we will see. We will see what happens with Cactus Katie when she is coming back. But
Ronston Reed, he's a freaking clown.
I fed you know what? If you fed an elephant, I fed a giraffe, and I'm going to tell you that was quite an experience. And if you ever get the chance to feed a giraffe, I highly recommend it.
I actually that's on my bucket list to feed a giraffe.
It is. Well, you should do it, and you could. I went to the zoo, fed the giraffe. There were some kangaroos. There's a little kangaroo kind of area.
Buffalo?
A water buffalo.
Yeah, water buffalo.
Where would I find a water buffalo?
Zoo?
I didn't see any water buffaloes. Where do I go for that? Like Wyoming? I mean, what? I don't.
They're only in special zoos. They're not in every zoo.
Special zoos, okay.
Yeah, like bigger zoos. Like Sanford is a small zoo.
Right. Well, I went to the Brevard Zoo, and they had quite a.
I've never been to a zoo.
Well, I mean, I think you work in one.
Well, of course, I work in one, yes, but I've never been to an actual zoo.
I've never seen the boss's employees boss them around until I went and saw you at work. It is magnificent. It is magnificent how your employees tell you what to do.
Steve says water buffaloes are in water, Dan.
Yo, let me tell you something. Speaking of Toys R Us, if anybody ever, needs to get their never mind. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna continue on here
What the
because
hell?
well, I was just gonna say, if anybody out there ever needs to put on their resume, hey, I was district manager for Toys R Us. Well, guess what, baby? There ain't no way to check. Okay, there ain't no way to check anymore. Okay.
They're coming back, right?
Well, they have like a little bit of a substation in Macy's.
Yeah, but they opened up a full store. I forget what mall it is, but they have a full store in the mall. Like it's a full a full storefront.
Yeah.
Jeffrey
that'll be
Jeffrey the
interesting.
giraffe couldn't stay away, could he?
Nah, man, bring them toys back. Bring them toys. All right,
what
guys.
we got next?
I think it's definitely time for a commercial break right here.
All right, cool.
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna hit commercial break, and we'll be right back with you.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
Matches.
Amazing. This is one of my favorite all-ins. Last year was awesome, but this year was just as good. And next year, being in Texas, I'm ready to go.
Okay. I got friends that go to the Double or Nothings in Vegas all the time. Had about 30, they all in, had about 30 people on their pay-per-view. Damn. Listen, I'm going to say this as we all get on Tony Khan. A lot of times, Tony, we know what you be doing in the back of those cars, D. Do you know? Do you know what I be doing in the back of them cars, D? Yeah, ain't like you back there sweating bullets, man. Okay? You know? You know. Mariah Major friend of the program. I was not here when they interviewed her.
I know, yeah.
That interview. Good for you. You did something that Mike Knox could have done himself. Never saw this one. I didn't pay this girl not a motherfucking never mind. Okay? Like that chick in church that had the extra long skirt with the big glasses. We didn't pay her no attention until we went skating. And if she didn't have the skirt on and the glasses on, you was like, I may actually beat Tony Storm's ass with the shoe is what I actually took notice. And I mentioned constantly, and no, I'm not jumping the shark like Fonzie and Happy Days. Yeah, another old reference, okay? I'm not
like
jumping the Shark Tank. But I will say this. I always say a few things. There's a lot of shit, right? One of them is, if you love fucking Trish Stratus, you better love motherfucking Nikki Bella. Because there's no Nikki Bella, they're the same. They're one in one fucking name. So if you want to put Trish Stratus as top 5, there better be a fucking 5.1, and there better be Nikki fucking Bella. They're the same fucking character, okay? And I think Nikki Bella's a better wrestler than Trish Stratus. I fucking said it. Now, you cannot.
Hold on here. Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop? It's the barbershop. I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? We can't talk straight nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation.
Well, that is the Mike Knox Show. You can always check him every Monday night, Monday night, 6 p.m. right here on UPR Network. Later on the show, we're going to show you the lineup that you can watch every single week with all our hosts.
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead continue on here. We have the Learning Tree backstage with Renee Paquette. And
psycho he looks like.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
he looked like a psycho tonight.
So bizarre. We go back 4 years ago when Orange Cassidy dropped a whole bunch of OJ all over Chris Jericho and ruined his $7,000 jacket. He says Brian Keith is going to freshly squeeze that $7,000 out of him this Friday on a special edition of Collision. Wonderful. Are you interested to watch Orange Cassidy and Brian Keith?
Absolutely not.
Okay. We did see Moxley and Marina Shafir. I'm really interested to see where this goes. Marina Shafir looked absolutely stunning tonight, and this is the first time in a very long time where I'm absolutely looking forward to see what they do with her. And Moxley called out Darby Allin. He really wants to see him. He's just looking to talk. Really curious to see where they go from here. Moxley and Darby Allin. Do you think we have a feud coming up, or do you think we have a stable coming up? That'll be really interesting to see what happens here. So we're going to move on to Mariah May against Nyla Rose for the Women's Championship. You know, this was a pretty decent match for the most part. I absolutely love Mariah May. I think she's absolutely fantastic in the ring. She's arguably one of the most polished all-around professional wrestlers AEW has right now. And they need to feature her and make her such a focal point in so many different ways, and really kind of push Mariah May to the point where they were pushing Britt Baker.
It's just too bad that they give her really shitty talent to do it with.
Well, you know, sometimes you really see how great somebody is when they make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
I didn't see that tonight.
I thought tonight was pretty good, and you know, I don't think Nyla Rose is bad. I just think sometimes
she ain't good.
Well, you have to keep in mind the character that Nyla Rose is, and Nyla Rose is supposed to be this big monster, and she's supposed to dominate her opponents, and you know, and she's supposed to be physically superior to them, and I mean that's pretty much what it turned into tonight, and that's why it can get a little bit awkward and clunky in the ring with a Nyla Rose, because you can't really just pick her up and slam her. No. So that's the problem when you have that type of a character. But Mariah May does pick up the W. She is still your AEW Women's Champion, and I don't think anybody
match. He said.
Beauty of the Beast match. Oh boy. We get a Deonna Purrazzo video package about how all artists are going through their phases, and she's not done yet making her art. We are getting this is Deonna Purrazzo against Hikaru Shida on Friday night. Is that accurate, or am I completely off?
No, you're accurate.
Okay. But we're also getting the next segment is Mercedes Moné coming out and with Camille Brickhouse, and she will be going against Hikaru Shida at All Out on Saturday for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship as well as the TBS Championship.
Well, she looks rough, doesn't she?
Hikaru Shida?
No.
Or
Camille.
No, I thought Camille looked pretty great tonight.
She looks like a man to me.
Camille.
Hikaru Shida.
What did we say?
Dickory Doc.
I said Hikaru.
Hikaru.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hikaru. All right. Anyways, glad we got that out of the way. Hikaru Shida. So yeah, we're gonna get that. Christopher Daniels bans Camille from ringside at All Out, and then gives her a.
What was up with her? What was up with her freaking outfit tonight? What was she trying to be?
I don't know. I think maybe an anime character. I'm not really quite sure what was going on there.
Just please, just keep it. Just put back on your clothes.
Put back on your clothes.
That was horrible.
Oh, all right. All right. We're about at main event time here, guys. Main event time. I mean, this is actually really good, Vince. This is a record for us.
Well, I mean, it's 11 o'clock, so
I mean, it's 11 o'clock, but we're under 40 minutes.
No, we're not. It's still an hour. What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. Because we didn't. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I'm looking at the time. I should be looking at the time on the side.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, we are doing really well.
Yeah. So we get Young Bucks and Jack Perry backstage. Perry's cutting his promos about how this is the dream to face Bryan Danielson, but it won't be a dream for Bryan Danielson. And
did he come out? Where'd he go?
Who?
Didn't Danielson come out and then all of a sudden they didn't show him again? Was he on commentary?
Well, he was doing commentary. He was doing commentary.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we did get the Bucks also, saying that they're going to do whatever it takes to help bring the world title to the Elite. So I would fully expect a lot of craziness to go down in this match. Bryan Danielson is doing commentary for the main event for the Trios Championships. So, which we do have the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac against a conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay. So, this match was pretty decent. There's a lot of back and forth on both ends. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it did get a little out of hand at times.
Sure, Steve.
And we had a bunch of up and downs, back and forth. Ultimately,
this match was crazy.
We did get the Blackpool Combat Club and Pac coming out victorious and retaining the Trios Championships.
Well, here's my question to you. Why does AEW feel like when they do a 3-on-3 match that the referee doesn't have to do anything in there, doesn't count outside like nothing? It's just like they go blind and then all of a sudden they come back to reality. Like these matches are all over the place and there's never any there's the damn referees are not even paying attention.
Right. No, I mean they're completely all over the place sometimes in these matches, and it almost turns into a free-for-all. Tag team wrestling, which is supposed to be the cornerstone of what AEW really was doing, they really have done some different type of tag team wrestling, though. The rules just kind of don't always seem to apply at times.
Right.
It's interesting. It really is. But I guess, as I said, we do get the BCC. They come out on top. Danielson goes in to celebrate with them. Jack Perry and the Elite come from behind and, do an attack on the Blackpool Combat Club. They do end up managing to kind of, turn things around. The Elite end up, scurrying onto the ramp. Claudio ends up calling out the Bucks at All Out to face Yuta and him for the tag team titles. So that is, I guess, now an official match for Saturday night. Danielson promises Jack Perry he's going to get his head kicked in, and we go to the back where, I mean, listen, I think that is going to be a pretty good match. I think Danielson and Perry has a lot of potential. I wish it had more of a build, though. Backstage, we do get Pac. There really is not much of a build at all. So we get Pac and Ospreay backstage. They're just going at it all throughout the backstage area. So the absolute final segment of Dynamite is the Adam Page Swerve Strickland contract signing, in which Swerve basically just comes out, sits there, and says a little bit that he needs to say, calls out Hangman. Entrance music comes on, I think 3 different times and doesn't come out. We cut to a video where he is at the newly bought home of Swerve, and he ends up really talking a bunch of smack, and basically is exploiting a weakness of Swerve at this point, and how this is, such a dream for him, and he is going to take it all away, and he ends up taking a bunch of gasoline, throws it all throughout the place, just walking around, and decides to set the place on fire. And Swerve is absolutely going out of his mind at this point. He's in tears, and Hangman just sits down in a recliner right in front of the house as it's burning away. And that is how the show ends.
I love how they make us, they try to make us think that this could actually be real. Like they're gonna set somebody's house on fire for real.
I mean,
like we're stupid.
But see, that's the point. Pro wrestling is basically like watching a soap opera. This is no different than watching Days of Our Lives or General Hospital. It is the same concept. It is episodic. This is continuations of multiple different storylines going on at once, and this is just in a different format. It's a show. I mean, don't you want to kind of believe it? Don't you just kind of get lost in it? It's a story. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I used to back in the day in the 90s, not anymore. In the 90s, they made it count. They don't make it count no more.
Oh, because it was so believable seeing a guy just get beat down, take chair shot to the head, and then he just pop back up, roll his eyes, and the lights would go out, and some lightning would strike, and I mean, come on, that was believable.
Wrestling back then was just, God, you're never 80s and 90s wrestling. You're never gonna redo like today. Like just the stuff they put out today is just garbage.
But it's a different time.
I know, but wrestling back then made it. It made for television.
It made sense. Is that what you were gonna say?
Well,
because nothing made sense about it.
They wrestled back then. They're not wrestling today. Today it's more of a how we can tell a story. Back then it was wrestling. Like two guys got in a ring and they wrestled. They had holds.
They chopped off Val Venus's penis.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about let's even talk about 80s wrestling. Like when you watch Superstars on Sunday,
turned right to censor member.
That was garbage. That stuff is garbage. I'm talking about like real wrestling, like flashy, Ric Flair and Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, like stuff that people cared about. Nobody cared about Right the Censor or Val Venus or The Godfather. That was a bunch of garbage.
That's why we still talk about them 20 plus years later.
I don't talk about them bimbos.
I mean, we're literally talking about them right now.
Yeah, you brought them up. I didn't bring them up.
Okay, but you know who they are.
Of course I do. I grew up with these people.
Okay, so don't say that we're not talking about them because we're vividly recalling exactly
what would you give tonight's show?
You're such a joker.
What would you give tonight's show?
I mean, it was a go-home show. There was some good in it. There was some okay in it.
Give it a C. See you
later. I give it a B minus.
Yeah, I bet you would. Okay.
I would always, Someone said it. No one cares. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. This is poppycock. Guys, are we let Vince, why don't you go ahead and do the breakdown here?
All right. Well, I already talked about Mike Knox, 6 p.m. on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You have the Raw Review show with the executive consultant and his panel of guests, whoever he chooses. I think it's Big Daddy Cool, right? usually it,
Mm-hmm.
or is it? Yeah. Let's do Tuesday night right after NXT, 10 p.m. It's the Wrestling Doll bringing you the NXT reviews every Tuesday night. Right here on Wednesday, you're watching the AEW Dynamite show with me and Dan the Man. Top 5 on Thursdays and Saturdays at 12 p.m. It's the SmackDown Penitentiary with Z is Silent. This man will bring you everything that's happened and break it down for you from Friday Night SmackDown.
Absolutely. Guys, we are doing a special edition right after our review show, and we will be doing the all-out predictions. It will be myself, Dan the Man, along with Venomous Vincent and Matt Mad Dog Kelly. We will be discussing all about All Out, all the matches that are announced, giving you our insight predictions and a breakdown about how this event's going to go. We are only days away. I mean, what are we, 3 days away at this point?
3 days away, yep.
3 days away from one of AEW's premier events of the year.
I wish I was excited for it.
I'm excited. And I don't know how you're not excited.
Because we just watched it a couple weeks. They just had a pay-per-view, so it's not that exciting.
Oh my gosh. All right. Vince, this is how I feel every time. Every time. Anyways, we're going to go ahead. We're going to end this show, and we're going to start with a new one and give you all the predictions here. Just remember, every Wednesday nights, you can catch us here. I am one of your co-hosts, Dan the Man, along with my other co-host, Venomous Vincent. We are going to break it all down for you. Stay around, stay tuned. We'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere.